Signore e signori, from Putrajaya to Roma. So, may I record my gratitude to the Italian Institute for Asia and to the Honorable Lucia Squeri for convening this conference. It is indeed a great honor to finally see the Asian Renaissance published in a language that can elevate even mundane utterances into sublime pronouncements. I would be remiss if I did not once again express my deep appreciation to Andrea Faiz for his translation, to Stefano Bonilauri for bringing this book to Italian readers. Asian Renaissance was first published 30 years ago, long enough to span a generation. I shall not burden you with the catalogue of all that has unfolded since, other than to say that midway in my public life, I found myself in a dark forest, not unlike Dante's Selva Oscura, but thankfully, with tenacity and great support from my friends and family, I found my way back. Books are often product of their time. The Asian Renaissance is no different. There is something more gratifying and sobering in a discovery that work written for particular moments continues decades on to address concerns that have not yet receded. My principal aim in this book was to rupture a pivot in the broad arc of human history, a moment of global rebalancing after the long Vasco da Gama epoch. I want readers to grasp the full gravity of this juncture, for the rise of Asia is never a matter of economics alone, even if commerce was at its most visible expression and driving force. Indeed, deep in the recesses of a renaissance lies a cultural, intellectual, philosophical flowering. It is only when there is renewal in the things that make life worth living that material progress acquires more meaning. Civilizational and civilizations are not built on cultural wastelands. More urgently, I was responding to early signs of Western anxiety about Asia's rise. This unease has since crystallized into something harder and less tractable. What was once uncertainty has become suspicion. What might have been mutual adjustments have become contentment. The language of interdependence has given way to semantics of rivalry. The promise of shared prosperity has morphed into clamor for mercantilist gain, which is why the lessons of history must give us pause. In Andalus, or the Andalus, namely Cordova, Toledo, and Granada, there emerged between the 10th and 12th centuries convivencia, where Muslims, Christians, Jews live in sustained and serious engagement. Today, at a time of great global unease and uncertainty, what is imperative is a global convivencia. We need the courage and conviction to imagine a coexistence rooted in civilizational confidence, ethical confidence, and intellectual curiosity. In such a world, Asia's rise did not provoke alarm, nor must Western influence breed resentment. We want a consortium of civilizations, not a clash. Our commonalities prevail over differences. We reject violence and repudiate injustice in as much as we covet peace and equity. We also draw lessons from the wisdom of Pico della Mirandola, oration on the dignity of man, which celebrates humanity or humanity's unique potential, faculty of free will, quoting Ibn Qutaybah, that there is nothing to be seen more wonderful than man. Mirandola reminds us that such free will, harnessed through intellect and virtue, should enable us to transcend our base desires. That is the wager of this book, that while we may not be able to determine the course of history, nevertheless, dialogue and human imagination, properly directed, can still widen our path and open up our horizons. It is fitting then that this conversation should take place in Roma, and that this book should find an Italian voice. If today's exchange prompts us to reflect across traditions and borders, it will have honored both the spirit and convivencia that the purpose for which these words were written. I wish you a fruitful discussion, and terima kasih.